Hi guys, so today, as you can see by the title of the video, this is not going to be a traditional video coming from my channel. I wanted to take the time to explain my goals right now entering my senior year, because memories and videos and pictures of the past are something that's always been really important to me, and as a future adult I want to take the time to go back and look at what I wanted as a senior in high school, and maybe I'll change something I'm doing once I'm an adult. So excuse how I look right now, that's really not the point of the video, but so today is Monday, August 27th, 2018, and I plan on starting my senior year of high school today, homeschooled of course, and then tomorrow will be my first day of my 4th semester of Allegheny College jazz band, and then on Wednesday I have the opportunity to go back to my local high school to play for their jazz stage concert and marching band. So I will be starting that on Wednesday, and today I'm going to be writing my testimony of faith to submit for like the application process for Cairn College, and that's a college that I've been looking into for only like a week or two now, and I just really like it the more I like learn about it and stuff. And I've been emailing the professor of biology and pre-med and the music director and 2 different college admission counselors, and they just seem really nice and they make me feel really wanted, and that's something that is really unique about a college, I think. Before I was looking into Cairn, I decided like a couple weeks ago that if this is so far off and so unlikely that I would ever get in, but my dream school would be Princeton, and I highly doubt I will get in, if I will be even eligible to apply, but that would be pretty cool. And if I got an acceptance letter from Princeton, I would just forget about any other acceptance letters and I would go straight to Princeton. But my other choice is Cairn, because they are faith-based, Christian-oriented, and pretty nice. And I got a schedule for what my semesters would look like there as a pre-med undergrad student, and it looks pretty packed. I mean, with biology 1, biology lab 1, chemistry 1, chemistry lab 1, and then plus a Bible class, and I think that's all for the first semester, but there's so much other stuff for all of it. But it sounds amazing, and if I could get through it, it would be a dream. And then to go to med school and to be an intern and a resident, it would be my dream come true. So right now, as a senior, I'm hoping to accomplish getting through the school year. I'm gonna start working on a worldview book this year, as opposed to last year where I did a worldview workbook that was supposed to be an 11-week course, but it took me till like March, and luckily they accepted that for the whole school year, and that was pretty good. And that's why I was open to doing another worldview based thing, because I really don't like history, and this is an alternative to history when speaking in classes that I am required to take. So the chemistry I'm taking this year is the second part of this book. That it's not really the second part because I'm only on like chapter 4. That's what I got all year last year for chemistry, and not just because that's all I was doing, because I was trying to figure out what I wanted to do, and I was switching between online curriculums and all sorts of different things, and that's what I've decided. So now I'm going to finish up that book this year, probably go to chapter 18, I think is what I have to do, and I'm on chapter 4, so hopefully I can get that done. And as for English, I am still studying the works of Dr. Paul Brand, and I'm halfway through one book, And that's also very helpful in my sciences and view of sciences and my faith. And he's just an absolutely amazing writer, and it's really helpful to get his perspectives on God and science, because God and science are directly related. People that aren't Christians think that Christians hate science, but it's quite the opposite. Science supports every possible way that there is a divine creator, and that's something that Paul Brand really touches on, and it's just so wonderful to read about. And that's also something that I read about in my worldview book, which is fantastic because it's really important to me as a Christian to be educated on both sides of non-Christian and Christian worldviews. So that's why a worldview book is really important to my career as a wife and okay, that had nothing to do with that, but like as a doctor and as a Christian, and it's gonna really help me in the future. As for, what's the other one? There's science, history, English, math. Math this year I'm taking statistics, and that's what we decided would be most relevant to me going into college, because geometry or trigonometry would not be relevant to me. I took geometry last year, and trigonometry would have been next, but we decided wasn't relevant for my career choice. And I did leave out that on the schedule next year would be Calculus 1 for me, and that kind of sucks because I have never taken calculus, and I don't plan to this year so far, but hopefully I'll be okay, and I'm just really optimistic that I'll hopefully find a good study group and be able to keep up with all my classes, because I suck at math, and I'm just hoping that maybe I'll do better. But statistics will be relevant to me because analyzing data is one of the most relevant things as a doctor, and that's something I'm going to do on a daily basis as a doctor. So that's what we decided was most relevant for my last year of high school instead of trigonometry or calculus. Well, I mean, we didn't really decide against calculus. I don't know, we decided on statistics, and that's that. And so, but right now I'm prepping for the SATs because I took a prep test in like February this year, and I did not do well. I got a 910, which is horrible. It's not horrible, it's really bad though. It's basically a 50%. Out of 1,600, that's basically a 50%. So that's really bad, and I really need to bring that up when I take the real SATs, or else I am not going to have much hope for getting into colleges that solely base admission on like SATs. Because, oh, I just realized something. Okay, I'm sorry. That's so cringy. There's scholarships programs that accept you for when you have a certain level of SAT score. Like I think the one I was looking at for Karen was 1170, and then a GPA of 3.5, which that shouldn't be hard for me because a 3.5 isn't super hard for a student to achieve, and it's hard for being homeschooled because there's not like a specific system that I run in that tracks every one of my grades because I'm homeschooled, and that's not how it works, and I'm not cyber schooled, and there's a big difference. For those of you that don't know, there's a big difference between homeschool and cyber school, and I get asked about that a lot. So my mom has to do a lot of the, like, she has to write up my transcript soon, and my evaluator, she has to write up I don't even know what it's called, but it's something that evaluates me as a student, basically. And she's who evaluates my progress after the end of each school year, for the past 2 years anyway. And she was really impressed with me this past year, and I got 8.5 credits. So hopefully she should be able to write a really good something for me, whatever it is, for me to be recommended for college or whatever I need to include in my applications. So there's that, and then there's of course my profession of faith, and that I'm planning on writing today, and I'm really excited to do that. I was going to write it yesterday, my keyboard wasn't working. Hopefully it works today. Sorry, Budgie's squeaking out there. That's another thing that I want to talk about. Budgie's 10 months old today. Yeah, August 27th. He's 10 months old today. He will be a year and 2 months. And he's crazy. He's a horse. He's clumsy. Basically, we're the perfect match for each other. He's super hyper, though, which is not like me. And I'm hoping that someday he will calm down and he will be just wonderful for me, and that through training him for a while, I will come to bond with him as much as I've bonded with AJ, and just come to love him even more than I already do, because I already know what it's like to bond with a dog through training, and that's what I have with AJ, and that's why I'm so reluctant to leave AJ at home. But I have to move on, and I have to leave AJ here unless I get an apartment my first year, which would be crazy. Apartment with the loudest dogs too. But I have high hopes for Budgie. When he was even younger than he is right now, I just saw the future, and I saw something in him that I knew was going to be able to be something big, and he's going to help me. Even though right now he's not helping me at all. He's being really noisy. I don't know if you guys can even hear that. Probably. But he's just going to be something great, and I know that God is going to use him in ways that I cannot imagine right now. And so, even though people around me tell me, well, he might just turn out to be nothing more than a good house pet, I don't believe that. I think that every dog has the potential to be something far, far more than a house pet. And some of them are very good house pets, but some of them can be something far greater. And that is what I believe God has in store for Budgie and me. So there's that. And as for boyfriends right now, I had a boyfriend in 10th grade, a boyfriend last year, and I have a kind of sort of boyfriend this year. He's in college, so he's super busy, and we didn't do a whole lot this summer because his mother sucks, and so, even though he's 19 years old, he's still basically a child in his mother's eyes, so we didn't do a whole lot. But I don't know, I guess we're just not exclusive is what the bottom line is. So if I find somebody that treats me better, then I will not hesitate to go after them. And it's not that I've gone after these boyfriends that I've had in the past, it's that they've all come to me. And I know that sounds, I don't know if this makes me sound like a slut or what, but this is the way it is. They've all, well, the very first one I had in 7th grade, I'd known him for many, many years, and he was really annoying to me always, but I started to like him, and then it was a weird story, but I'm not going to go through that. And then my second boyfriend in 10th grade, we had known each other also for several years, and I really hated him for a while, but then I started to like him, and then there was no way he was going to know that I liked him, because boys are just so thick, and sometimes you have to just ask him out, and that's what I did with him. And then from then on, he did the work, because I'm very old-fashioned, and so was he. And then we broke up in, like, maybe September. No, not September, probably more like October or November of my 10th grade year. And then last year I had a boyfriend. That was the longest boyfriend I had for about 6 months, and our relationship ended on the contrary to my previous relationships, not because of my depression, but because of his. And he got horrible, and he started to treat me horribly, and I let it go on way too long. And after a month of him treating me so badly, I let him go, and that was that. And that brings us to my current boyfriend. So yeah, I still don't know how this is going to end, but one thing that I hope that I never ever lose as a Christian and as a professional woman, I hope that I never ever lose the ability to know that no matter what is happening right now, it's in God's hands, and in the future, everything is laid out for me in a perfect way that I cannot begin to comprehend. And that's something that I hope I never lose sight of, because I know that as an adult, I'm going to be screwed up for a while, because I was screwed up for a while as a kid, and I still am screwed up in some ways, but I still know that everything's going to work out, and that's why I don't go chasing after boys, because I know that there's several men out there that could be my perfect man. Not perfect, of course, but there's several men out there, not just one true love. I believe there's several men out there that could be my true love, but no matter what, God is working in it right now. These very things that I move around every day, these moves are all taking me towards my future husband, my future children, and my relationship with God, my career, everything is just building up in every single moment I wake up every single day. God is moving in ways that I can't see, that no one else can see. And it's going to be amazing. And I have high hopes for my future, and I'm so excited to start my life. And this is, as a kid, this is all I've ever known. And it's very surreal that I'm a senior in high school now, because I used to look at even middle schoolers when I was a high schooler and be like, man, I want to be like those girls because they're older and they're cooler. And every year I would move up and I would say, no, I want to be like those girls, those girls. Well, now I'm the highest level in high school, and I still don't feel like I'm one of those girls. But maybe people are looking up to me and I don't even know it. So that's what I have to remember, I guess. I don't want to be too confident. I don't want to be prideful, because I've struggled with that so much in the past, and I have to remember that as a trumpet player and as a doctor, that I can't be too confident. I have to be confident, appear confident, but not be prideful, because it's not worth it. Because I've lost friends that way. I've lost men that way. I've lost so many people's respect that way, and that's not worth it. It's not worth it. To be outwardly confident is to be good, but at the same time, you must remember, you know who I'm talking about. Be like her, future Erica. Be like her. You know it, and she's helped you through so many times. And if you haven't talked to her in a while, you better shoot her a text right now, because you know I love her. And she's such a huge inspiration for me, and she's told me that I'm an inspiration for her, and I love her so much. And she's who I want to be when I grow up. She's who I want to be. And I want to have the relationship with God that she does, and the relationship with people that she does, because no matter what, she looks at the image of God in people. And that's what I want so badly for myself. I want to stop being skeptical when I look at a person and see their faults. No, that's not how it works. You're supposed to look at a person and see the best in them, and go off of that, and base your entire thoughts of that person off of the best in that person, and use that in every aspect of my life as a doctor. Especially see the good in patients, and they are sick until proven healthy. Believe that, because you know how it was as a patient growing up, having doctor after doctor say, tests are fine, nothing's wrong with you. Yeah. Okay, so remember how that feels, and then especially if your children start to do that, remember how that feels. Just never, ever forget what it's like to be a scared child and a scared patient that wants nothing more than some answers from someone, some help from anyone who's willing to look your way. And then once they do, it's such a treat, and keep it that way, because they admire you. And I feel really empowered. I'm just so excited to look into my future and not even see everything, because it's not in my hands, it's in God's hands, and I'm going to do everything I can to make sure it stays that way. And I have so much love to give, and I want to give it out, and I need to remember how to give it out without being boastful, prideful, and arrogant. Arrogance is not an option. So, in the future, here's to a wonderful husband I love, to healthy children that I love, to a career that I wake up to every day and love a lot. What would be amazing is if my husband were to be a very maternal and paternal person, and nurturing and stuff, because I need that with how my father has treated me growing up. And that it would be so cool. This is my dream, but I know this probably won't happen, and it's okay, because this would just be my dream. I just want to put it out there. My dream would be to come home to a husband every day that does not have a day job, but he works doing vlogs on YouTube and editing and homeschooling our children so we don't have to pay for a tutor, and taking care of the kids all day while I'm at work, and then coming home to him and loving him and loving my children and them loving me back, and just being a part of a family, a community. I'm looking so forward to having that in life and in college and in the hospital. I'm so looking forward to having a community of people that actually wants me around, that I know want me around, because sometimes that's not what I've had a lot of times in the past. I haven't felt that in a long, very, very long time, and I'm looking forward to that so much. And I'm praying every single day about it, and I can't wait to have a husband, a family, and a career that I love, but I'm not in a rush because, as I've said so many times, it's not in my hands, and every step that I take to get to that place will be so, so worth it, and everything I do is going to be... Not everything I do is going to be fun and amazing. Some of it's going to be challenging and so hard, but no matter what, I have to remember what my ultimate goal is. Heaven is where I belong. And someday I'm going to wrap my arms around my daddy's neck, tell him that I missed him, tell him all about the woman I became, hope that it pleased him. If you are a subscriber to me, this was not really for you, but thank you if you watched the whole thing. That's awesome, and I hope that if you watched the whole thing you got some perspective out of it, like I hope I will in the future. Probably no one will take the time to watch this, and I don't blame them because I can't stand watching long videos on YouTube, but I just wanted to make this for my future self as a doctor, as a mother, and as a wife, and as a Christian, because everything is so important to me, doing all these things as I grow up, and I want to make sure that I don't waste any time and that I enjoy where I am right now instead of wishing that I was further ahead, because you wish there was a way to know you're in the good old days before you actually left them. So if you watched this, thank you for watching. Please click like and subscribe. I love you all so much. Currently I have 21,000 subscribers, and I thank you all so much. That's just something that I wanted to note as a future. Right now, today, that's how many people are following me, and I'm so thankful for each and every one of you, and I love you, and see you later.